the father of my kids. That's the guy who was just calling me. And my youngest was in the ER last night, and I had to cut the stream off. I am so sorry, but it wasn't about that. So anyway, I even forgot what I was talking about. And let me see if I can fix this. I'm crooked. I guess that looks better. So I did a video before I did this one, not live though. I kind of missed the editing process. But the live streams are so much easier. You do a live and you talk and you do your thing, and then when you're done, you're done. And so when you edit a video, you cut out a lot of things that don't need to be there, like long pauses or and those kind of things. But knowing I'm live, I'm trying to not do those things. But I'm sure you understand. And I just said but. That's another thing that I'd always find and cut out, because I would be like, but, or I clear my throat just now. Like just now. I have really bad allergies, and I don't know why. You would think that the seasonal allergies would not be year-round, but mine are. I take 3 Allegras. I think it's Allegra. I take 3 of those a day, and I still clear my throat often. It's a pain. I want to say something that just triggered a thought that I was always thinking. When I would go to work, I would freeze all day long. Freeze. I'm talking about a lot of people, not men, but a lot of people would have little blankets around them, wearing sweaters, things like that. And I would go and I'd have my blanket on me and my sweater, and I would have a runny nose all day long. And I remember thinking, I will be glad when my YouTube days will start. I should say my monetization days, because I'm tired of working my butt off for other people and freezing to death. Now, I don't complain about it at my kid's father's house because he keeps it freezing, but I'm not going to complain. Not because he's my ex, because I'm staying with him. I put a heating pad on my lap and I wear a sweater. And then when I get in bed at night, I cover with 2 blankets. I have sweats on, socks on, and I'm snug. And I also sleep with a heating pad also. A part of me feels like I messed up disconnecting my YouTube live because of the phone call I just had. But that's okay. I'm at the water park, the park that I used to come to all the time. And it's really packed. The parking lot is pretty packed, except over here where I am parked. It's only a small strip of parking spots. How many times am I going to say parking spots? But it's very few spots. See, and that was something that I don't like doing on my lives. It's a pure sign that somebody is struggling to figure out what to say, or to stretch out a sentence from one end to the beginning of the other. And I don't like that. I'm trying so hard not to do that. It's difficult. Try it. When you're talking to somebody and you remember me saying that, and you will continue talking to them, listen to yourself, because you will say, and, or, mark my words, you'll do it. I don't know who was just watching my live a minute ago, and I feel bad because I felt like I cut everything off. I did. And I do feel bad, but then I don't, because it could have been something serious about my daughter. If I had my camera instead of my cell phone recording this, I would flip it around and show you what it looks like in this water park area. It's pretty awesome. It's got I can't remember what you call it, but you could get on a float and you go through like a windy area, and the current of that area makes you travel. I want something like that. I don't know where I'd put it, but I would love something like that. Also, on a different note, I already did the video I did before I started this live. I will just say this. I talked to my ex, not knowing where I was going to go. What am I going to do? God, I have no family. And he told me I could stay there. I want to get a hammock, and I want to lay in that hammock, and I want to watch the sky badly. I don't guess I need a hammock. I would love one, but I can get a gravity chair. I would really like a hammock, but I might get a gravity chair. I might go buy one today and take a pillow and my blankets and get out in the middle of the yard and just watch the sky. I would bring you guys with me. I don't know what it would look like on my camera, and I don't know how long I could do it. I could probably do it for an hour before my battery wears out, is where I was going with that. I might go get me a gravity chair before, after I leave here. I hate it when I do that. I really do. So I'm struggling to keep talking. But yeah. I can't wait to go to the memory doctor so I can have more answers. I've got a notebook of questions wrote down, and I already thought of it, but Lanita suggested, and I'm thankful for her suggestion, that I should write the answers down. And if I remember to do that, it's a whole different story. I hope I remember to do that. I'm assuming that I will, because I'm reading the questions out. I don't know if I will remember what he says. And that's a part of my life lately. I will always say, what did he say about that? And that was a lot about my job. I will say this. In the past, I would ask somebody a question of something that I should be doing work-wise. They would give me their information and knowledge or whatever, and I can maintain that and go back to my area and continue working with that new knowledge and answer and remember it. A lot of the times in my current position, that's no longer current, but the position I had recently, he would tell me things, and when I got back to my desk, I forgot what he said. That's how bad it is. Also, I can read a sentence, like something that I need answered, or that sentence is something, let's just say a phone number, and I would write it down, and then I have to go back and read the number again, and then write the next number down, and then go back up and read it again and write the next number down. That's how I am now. And I caught myself, I'm like, I cannot remember 3 digits. What in the world? I was doing something similar to that yesterday. I can't remember what it was, but I was reading something that I needed to write down out of whatever I was reading. And I remember it was like a word, 3 word, maybe, yeah, I think it was 3 words. And so I wrote the first word down, and I looked back up because I didn't remember. There I go. I did not remember what the second word was. So I looked back up and had to reread the first word and second word, and then read the second word and then write it down and repeat that process. And I've noticed that's new also. And that is traumatic for me. I used to be the walking notebook as a kid. Not a notebook, a phone book. I can remember tons of phone numbers. Now, I'm lucky if I remember the first 2 digits. It's funny, but it's not funny. I could kind of laugh at myself sometimes, and that's okay. You got to find the humor in it somewhere. But I remember when I worked in this one place, well, I forgot. I don't work there anymore, so I could tell you where I was working. I was working at the J.B. Hunt terminal. And in that terminal was where they did the tractor repairs and trailer repairs. But there was also people that worked in there in pods, and I was one of them. And my job there was to look at cameras, the in and out cameras, to see if they had damage coming in or going out. If they were going in, then that railroad would be the one that was liable for the damage. I think I said that right. Crap. If the tractor was going in with no damage and they came out with damage, indicates that the railroad damaged the damage. I think I got it right that time. But my after I determined that, then I would go and I think it was, yeah, it had already been repaired once I found it. And then I would bill that repair amount and send it out. And I don't even know where it was sent to, because I didn't send it anywhere. I just put in the prices and that was it. And so I could tell you how much a dolly leg was, a crank handle was, how much a foot of metal that they welded on the container was. I remembered all of those prices. It was repetitive though, and that was probably how I was able to do that. But I remembered things when I was working at the terminal. And I don't know if you're the same person that was here earlier and I had to disconnect real quick. If you are, I'm sorry. But I see another viewer. I don't know if it's the same one or not. But anyway, back on that, I've noticed that as I'm driving, I kind of like go in my whole different world kind of thing. And then I will stop and be, where was I going? Where was I going? And I talked about that in the video I just made earlier, and I might as well just delete that stupid thing because I'm sharing all of this on here as it is. But yeah, I was going to Sonic and to get a soda. Then I was going to record a video on my camera. But before I got there, I was in my head thinking, and then all of a sudden I came out of it and I kind of went in a little mini panic mode. Where was I going? Oh my God, where am I at? Where was I going? But that's not like you're driving and you come in, I can't even talk. You come to out of your head and you're like, oh man, I missed my turn. But at least you remembered where you were going. It's common that you miss your turn. It doesn't mean that you forgot to turn. And if you did, that just means that you're in La La Land. But me, I completely forgot where I was going. And that's happened probably a handful of times recently. And that's freaky in its own way. I don't want to get that bad. I'm sorry, I had to change my sentence really quick. I don't want to get there. Julianne Moore, you can Google her name. She did a movie that now hits home pretty bad. I can't remember what it's called, but you could type in her name, Julianne Moore, and type in her movie of memory loss or dementia, her movie of dementia or whatever, and her movie will come up. And throughout that movie, I can't remember what her diagnosis was, but she was a runner. And it started with she was running. And then she stops and looks around, and it doesn't explain what was happening at that time until a bit later. But she was late coming home because she didn't know where she was. So apparently, eventually, she got her memory back. And then she was like, oh, I need to go home. And then things like that would happen. And that's really scary. And there's a scene in there where she was looking for the bathroom. She was in the house, in their like vacation home, and she had to pee. And I don't know where her husband was. I think it was Alec Baldwin. But, he comes in and sees that she had peed all over herself. And she was telling him she could not find the bathroom. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go that far. I don't want to get that bad. And apparently she didn't either, because there's a part in there, her past self did a video of herself in a laptop and was telling her future self, you're not going to remember who I am or whatever, but you or me, I'm you. And there's pills in a top drawer, and it's very important that you take them all, because she's wanting to unalive herself. In a small way, that's kind of understandable. It's not the right thing to do, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's horrible to have this disease. It is. And being in the medical field, I knew a lot of things that happen that were discussed. And it would be like a man would be shaving his face on one side. Let's just start there, on one side. And then he'd be going to the other side, and he would forget he shaved on this side, and he would start over. And that's why they have to be in assisted living homes, because they have to be guided, that they have a whole different side of the face that they needed to shave. My dad has got Lewy body dementia. He puts his shorts on first, and then his underwear on over his shorts. That's how things like that happen. And I don't know if I want to be there, but I'm assuming that if my memory gets that bad where I have to be in a home, then I won't remember. Yeah. That's sad, isn't it? The way things are. I will say this. I've said it once before, and I'll say it again. I think the things that they put in our food, in our air, and everything else they put things in are what is causing our issues, as in cancer, dementia. That stone I was talking about last night was moldavite. The green stone that I said was a meteor. Last night I was doing something, and I'm like, that's what it is. But the video was already up. But anyway, I would like to know who's watching my video right now. I know when I have the phone straight up and down vertically, you can see people commenting, but I have it horizontally, and I don't know if anybody's commenting because it's a different view. But anyway, I guess I'm going in. See, this isn't normal. Just saying that, where I get flustered, it's not even a word, flustered, tongue-tied so often in a video. I think I've done it a handful of times, and I don't know why it does that. It does that. My mouth does that. And I'm pretty sure all of that is tied in with the dementia. But yeah. Whoever you are, thank you for watching. Thank you. If you're not subscribed, if you would like to, I would be so grateful. You don't have to stay subscribed if you don't want to. But anyway, I'm going to end this here. And I love you guys tremendously. I still hope you know that. And I'm going to send each and every one of you love, light, and peace. Bye.